Hello and welcome to the online piano training session. By signing up for today's workshop, you have saved yourself over $6,000, which is what it would cost you if you signed up for just 4 years of traditional piano lessons at today's lesson rates, which is anywhere from $32 to $42 per lesson. Now, I mentioned 4 years because that's the average amount of time it takes to achieve a competent level of understanding of the piano. Unfortunately, not everyone reaches that 4-year mark. The number one obstacle that keeps piano students from achieving their goal of playing the piano is traditional sheet music. The difficulty in learning how to read standard music notes is the biggest reason why so many students discontinue piano within their first 2 years of starting lessons. In this workshop, I'm going to show you 2 ways to learn songs. The first way involves a special kind of sheet music, which will allow you to begin playing your favorite songs today, even if you're a complete beginner. So you don't have to invest 2 years of your life into weekly piano lessons to find out that you're either one of the majority who struggles with reading standard music notes, or one of the rare few who start to get the hang of reading sheet music within the first 2 years of lessons. And the second way of learning songs that I'm going to teach you today is a method that involves no sheet music whatsoever. Now, both methods are equally effective, and both methods will allow you to begin playing your favorite songs today, even if you've never had a day of piano lessons in your life. But before I begin today's training, I'd like to play a few of my favorite songs to give you a good idea of what you'll be able to do once you learn this method for yourself. By the way, this method works with any style of music, from jazz to rock to classical music. Piano is a very easy instrument to play. Unfortunately, it's a very difficult instrument to learn. The biggest obstacle for most piano students is learning how to read music notes on the grand staff. The grand staff consists of a top staff for displaying music notes for your right hand and a bottom staff for displaying music notes for your left hand. So for each note on the top staff, there is an identical looking note on the bottom staff. Of course, what messes up a lot of piano students is that each pair of identical notes has a different letter name assigned to it. Here's middle C for the right hand and E for the left hand displayed on the grand music staff. Both music notes look the same, but they are two completely different keys on the piano. Here's E for the right hand and G for the left hand. Once again, both music notes look the same, but they are two completely different keys on the piano. Here's a better illustration of what piano students are up against. And yes, there are a lot of students who stick with it and eventually figure out how to remember the differences between right hand and left hand notes. In fact, I'm one of those students. But that's not to say that it ever gets easy. The truth is, if I hadn't learned the method that I'm going to teach you today, I probably would have quit piano long ago. I was pretty close to doing just that. And what happens to the students who don't figure out the music staff? Over 50% of my private piano students currently on my roster have struggled to read traditional music notes. Most of them would have fallen into the group that quit piano within the first 2 years. Instead, I've taught them how to play piano using a method that doesn't require traditional sheet music. And many of them have continued studying piano with me and have gone on to learn more advanced playing styles. However, to set your mind at ease, the songs that you heard me play earlier were not advanced playing styles. They just sound advanced. The songs that I played and the way that I played them involved the very basics of this method, which most students can learn in just 12 to 18 months. If you like what you heard me play, then stay tuned, because what I did involves a few basic playing techniques, and that is exactly what I'm going to teach you today. So, if you're ready, let's get started. There are 2 parts to this training session. The first part will cover the actual playing method, and the second part will cover the learning methods. As amazing as this method is, it's really very basic. I'm playing chords with my left hand, and a simple melody with my right hand, which is just one note at a time. Of course, when you put these 2 simple parts together, you get this amazing sound. And here's the beauty of this method. Once you know your chords, the only thing you ever have to learn when learning a new song is the right hand melody. Now I realize that there are a lot of you watching this workshop who have tried to learn chords on the piano and have failed. And you're watching me right now thinking, you know all about the chord method and how easy it's supposed to be. But your personal experience is telling you that it's not as easy as I make it look. But I'm here to tell you that it is. It is easy. I've devoted 16 years of my professional teaching career to developing this method and making it easy. I'm also here to tell you that I know why you failed, and I know how you can succeed. You see, when I learned this method, the guy who taught it to me assumed that I could read sheet music. At least a little, and I could. But I don't use traditional sheet music anymore. Traditional sheet music just slows me down. And it will slow you down too. Which is why I'm going to show you how to play chord-style piano without all the formal music symbols and technical jargon. Remember, that's the stuff that causes most students to quit piano. But the most important thing that I'm going to teach you is how to practice. If you follow my practice techniques, you won't have to start off learning songs like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or Eensy Weensy Spider. You'll be able to start learning songs by Billy Joel, Elton John, Bruno Mars, Adele, or whoever your favorite artist is. And here's why. Because I'm going to show you how to master what you learn. If there's one thing that I learned from 13 years of classical piano lessons as a kid, it's this. And trust me when I say, the classical music that I had to learn as a kid was some of the most complicated music I have ever had to play. And my teacher accepted nothing less than perfection. So when I tell you that I not only learned how to practice the piano the right way, but I learned how to master what I practiced. When I finished working on a piece, I knew it inside out and backwards. I had no other choice. That's what my teacher expected. Now, take all of that and gently, and I stress the word gently, take all of that and gently apply it to this simple little chord method. And you have a proven system of learning that cannot fail. It's like the perfect storm. If you've never heard of a perfect storm, it's when two or more storm systems collide, creating one very powerful storm. Well, the combination of my teacher's practice techniques and this simple but amazing piano method, put those two things together and you have the perfect formula for success. So, if you are a complete beginner, or maybe you have tried chord piano before and failed, don't worry. If you're willing to give my method a try, or for some of you, give the piano one more try, and if you're willing to follow my method and practice techniques, then I promise that I will do everything in my power to get you playing the piano. Okay, but before I get to that, let me show you the sheet music that I use. Because once you see what I'm about to show you, you're going to start believing that this is possible. Because for many of my private students, this was a game changer. And if you don't know what a game changer is, it's when the star quarterback from the other team gets the flu the night before the big game, and the backup quarterback hasn't played a single down all season long. That is a game changer. So, for students who have struggled to read traditional sheet music, I give you easy read sheet music. Okay, this first example is an excerpt from Honesty by Billy Joel. This sample shows both the right hand melody and the left hand chords. And just in case you're not seeing what I'm showing you, each note has the letter name displayed right in the middle of the note head. And for anyone who has ever had trouble reading traditional music notes, my easy read sheet music solves that problem. Okay, this next example shows just the right hand melody with the chord symbols displayed above each staff. This is called a lead sheet. Once you know your main chords, you won't need the grand staff. In fact, I rarely use the grand staff with any of my students. Most of my students use lead sheets exclusively. And I do have a few students who don't use any kind of sheet music. What I do with these students is print out the lyrics and write in the letter names of each melody note above the appropriate lyric. I do the same with the chord symbols. I make the chord symbols noticeably larger so my students don't confuse them with the melody notes. Now, both methods are equally effective, but I would say I use the easy read sheet music with most of my students. And for the main reason, it's what most of my students prefer. So far I've talked about chords and melody, but how do you learn rhythm? Or a better question is, how do you learn rhythm without learning how to read the rhythmical values of each individual note? And the answer to that question is found in my teaching method, which is what will tie all of this together. Everything I've talked about up to now is important, but how you learn this simple method of playing the piano is the most important. In fact, the only way to learn this method in 12 months or less is to follow the exact learning method that I'm about to show you. Remember what I said earlier. The combination of my teacher's practice techniques and this method, put those two things together and you have the perfect formula for success. So, the first thing you want to do is choose one of your favorite songs, preferably a slower song in the beginning, and then start learning the first two chords. Let's say Daniel by Elton John is a song you'd really like to learn how to play on the piano. The first two chords are A major in root position and an inverted B minor chord. Now, inverted chords and chords in root position are important, but definitely a discussion for another day. For now, I want to focus on what's going to help you learn this method in the easiest, fastest way possible. And what's going to accomplish that is video and this overhead camera view. Yeah, you could use sheet music to learn this piano method, but that's the slow way of learning. We're basically just going to use sheet music as a guide. Okay, so once again, the first two chords to Daniel by Elton John are the A major chord and the inverted B minor chord. The A major chord is A, C sharp, and E. And of course, if you're real new to the piano, there's a chance that you don't know all the names of the keys yet. That's okay. That won't stop you or slow you down. Just use the black keys to help you remember where each chord is located. If you look at your piano keyboard, the black keys are grouped in 2s and 3s all the way up and down the piano keyboard. If you find the group of 2 black keys right in the middle of your keyboard, the lowest of those two, the group of 2, is the middle note of your A major chord, which is a C sharp. If you find the group of 3 black keys below that group of 2, okay, the lowest of those 3 black keys is the middle note of our inverted B minor chord. So you can use that key to help you find the middle note of the B minor chord and the group of 2 black keys to help you find the A major chord. Remember, I'm going to help you master what you learn. At this moment, the only thing you have to focus on is the A major chord and the B minor chord. Here's your A major chord. Here's your B minor chord. Watch me play each chord a few times. Then pause the video and try playing each chord for yourself. Now, you don't have to rush the process. Take your time and master these 2 chords. The good news is that there are only 10 chords in this song, and they are very common chords. Once you master the 10 chords in this song, you will know them for the rest of your life. And since these chords are so common, it's a good bet that you're going to see some of them in the next song you learn, which will make your next song a whole lot easier to learn. Okay, so once you get comfortable with these 2 chords, A major and B minor, it's time to learn the right hand melody that goes along with these two chords. Once again, with the use of video and this overhead camera view, you'll be able to listen to me play the melody in perfect rhythm and watch my exact fingering and hand position. So our melody starts with that A, okay? Once again, if you're not sure of all the names of the keys, use the 3 black keys to help you find that A. And there's only 4 notes to this part: A, G sharp, F sharp, and D. And notice my hand position. So my thumb is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm starting with my 4th finger on the A. And here we go. Let me repeat that. And the sheer repetition of watching and listening to me play this will make this learning this method almost effortless. Just the sheer repetition of watching and listening. It truly is the perfect formula for learning this piano method. Now, once you feel comfortable with the chords and the melody, it's time to put both parts together. Let me do it again. One more time. And once again, watching me and listening to me play, okay, and then just pausing the video and trying it for yourself. That is what's going to help you learn this method. And don't worry about the rest of the song. Just focus on mastering this one little section of the song at this time. And then I just add on that next chord and those next little group of melody notes, and that's how you learn these songs. You just kind of piece them together, one melody, one chord at a time. And remember, what you master now will be used in every other song you learn. If you enjoyed today's free workshop and would like to try this method for yourself, click the free trial lesson button directly below this video to get started today. Thanks for watching.